Ever feel like you're just drowning in a sea of text? Reports, articles, those never-ending compliance forms. It just never stops.
It's true.
Well, what if I told you AI could be like your secret weapon to cut through all that clutter?
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not just talking about AI writing your emails for you. We're diving into some really cool applications that can actually save you time and headaches, like real-world stuff.
It's amazing how fast it's moving beyond just the whole text generation thing.
Exactly.
We're seeing it tackle these real-world problems now.
Like this company, New Orbit, for example.
Okay.
They were dealing with these massive compliance questionnaires. You know the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah. Those are the worst.
Where it's like the same question a million different ways.
Right.
With a slightly different wording.
The universal pain point.
The worst.
So much time wasted on those things. It's unbelievable.
So they trained an AI on all their past responses.
Okay.
And get this, the AI can actually suggest answers to the new questions based on the meaning.
Wow.
Not just matching keywords.
That's really interesting. So it's like, how do they even do that?
Right.
How does it go beyond just keywords?
Well, it's something called embeddings. It's
Yeah.
like, imagine if you could plot words on a map based on like how similar their meanings are.
Okay.
So like happy and joyful would be really close together,
Uh,
but then sad would be way off, in its own corner.
right.
Embeddings do that, but like mathematically. So the AI can actually kind of see those connections between words.
So it understands what the question is really asking.
Exactly.
Not just like picking out a couple words.
Mhm. It's not just recognizing words anymore.
Right.
It's understanding what they mean, like together. That's a big difference.
That is huge.
And the coolest thing is that New Orbit actually open sourced some of their code.
Oh, wow.
So if you're, technically inclined, you can actually see how they built this thing.
That's awesome. They're really putting it out there for people to learn from.
But they also made it very clear that, this is still early days.
Of course, yeah.
Human review is still crucial.
It's a tool.
Right.
It's not replacing us.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Right.
It's about, making us better.
Improving our abilities, not,
Augmenting, yes.
augmenting. Good word.
To give this great example, one of the statements on this questionnaire was MFA is implemented when available.
Now, that's not even phrased as a question.
Right.
But the AI was still able to understand the context and suggest a relevant answer.
Wow. So it's really getting to that deeper level of like understanding what's going on.
It's going beyond just pattern recognition at that point.
Yeah.
It's understanding the nuance, like the intent.
That's impressive.
Right.
It really is.
It's like, you got to train it. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like anything else.
Like anything else.
The more information you give it,
Right.
the better it's going to be.
It's true.
But, so it can handle those questionnaires, but what about all the other stuff that we're dealing with?
Right.
Like the reports and the product descriptions and internal documents, all that.
Sure, yeah.
Can it help with that too?
Absolutely. In fact, that's what they talk about next. They're saying one of the most powerful uses of AI isn't actually writing new text, but making sense of all the text we already have.
See, now that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So less about AI writing my emails and more about it reading them and telling me what's important.
Exactly. For example, imagine feeding an AI a bunch of customer call transcripts.
Okay.
Like all those calls that your customer service team is doing.
Yeah.
The AI can listen to those, and it can pull out like a satisfaction score for each call. Or it can even categorize them based on the content. So you can see like, oh, these types of calls tend to have lower satisfaction. Or these are the issues that keep coming up over and over again.
So you don't have to like read through every single transcript yourself.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
You can actually start to analyze those trends and figure out, okay, what do we need to do differently?
Wow. And it's not just customer service calls, right? I mean, it could be like any kind of text.
Any kind of text. Think about technical documents, like descriptions of new medicines, for example.
Okay.
That's really dense information. But the AI could pull out the key things, the active ingredients, the dosage, the potential side effects.
So it's like becoming an instant expert.
Yeah.
Without having to actually read through all that, like, technical jargon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It summarizes it for you and organizes it in a way that's actually useful.
That is really cool.
And it's not just about the speed either. It can actually connect the dots in a way that we might miss as humans.
Oh, interesting.
So, for example, imagine analyzing all of your company's policies and procedures.
Okay.
The AI could instantly spot any potential conflicts or gaps in compliance.
So it's like having like an AI compliance officer that's
Yeah.
constantly scanning for potential issues.
Exactly.
That's
They
amazing.
actually called it becoming an expert instantly.
Mm,
And while that might be a bit of a stretch,
sure.
the underlying concept is really powerful.
Okay.
It's about being able to ask these really nuanced questions about anything, about your company's data, about your customer interactions, about your products,
Yeah.
and get really precise answers really quickly.
So it's really about like using all that information to make better decisions.
Exactly.
Right.
We're moving from a world of information scarcity to a world of information abundance.
That's a good way to put it.
And AI can help us navigate that transition.
It's like you have a superpower, like instant access to all that knowledge.
It is. But you know what they say? With great power.
Comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
All right, there you go. Dropping some Spider-Man wisdom on us.
Had to.
But it's true. It makes you think about like the bigger picture.
Right, it does.
Yeah.
Because if AI is going to be taking on all these information-heavy tasks, then what does that free us up to do?
Right.
And it frees us up to focus on the things that humans are really good at,
Okay, like what?
like creativity
Mm.
and strategy and, building relationships.
Okay, so it's not about replacing us.
No, no, no.
It's about like making us better at what we already do.
Augmenting. Goes back to that word, augmenting our abilities.
I like it.
And it allows us to work smarter, not harder.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Working smarter, not harder.
Mm.
So AI isn't just some cool tech trend. It's actually changing the way we work, the way we think.
It is. It really is. And that's something for, everyone listening out there to really consider. How can you use these AI tools to become more efficient, more knowledgeable, and ultimately, more successful in your work?
And that is something to think about. What if you could become an expert instantly on any topic within your organization? What would it be? And what amazing thing would you accomplish with that knowledge? Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the world of AI, but keep those brainwaves buzzing because we'll be back next time with another fascinating topic ready to unpack even more insights and surprising facts.